Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. 11-time All-Star puts Cavaliers Darius Garland on blast. Darius Garland sat out of the Cleveland Cavaliers Game 3 win over the Miami Heat on Saturday, April 26. Garland was cited as having a toe injury. However, Garland's absence didn't sit right with 11-time NBA All-Star Charles Barkley. The Cavaliers guard has been embroiled in a war of words with Tyler Herro. By sitting out the contest, it looked like Garland was ducking Miami's primary offensive weapon. "You've got to be kidding me, right?" Barkley said when Garland was ruled out. "First of all, you don't say that, you gotta play." Tyler Herro, he may not be a great defender, but he had 34 points. "Don't act like he's a bum." Even without Garland in the rotation, Cleveland secured its third consecutive win. Miami is now down 0-3 and could be eliminated from the postseason in front of a hometown crowd at the Casillas Center. Nevertheless, Cleveland would be wise to keep its foot on the gas. Miami can never be counted out, regardless of who is in or out of the rotation. Following the Cavaliers' April 23 win over the Heat, Garland took aim at Herro's perceived shortcomings on defense. The Cavaliers guard noted how the team's game plan was to get Herro switched into as many actions as possible, with Kenny Atkinson's team hunting Miami's guard. "Pick on Tyler Herro," Garland said. "Take care of the ball. Don't play in tight spaces. And pick on their weak defenders." While Herro has struggled to make an impact on defense during the series, he has been a highly valuable player on the offensive end. In the 3 games against Cleveland, Herro is averaging 22.3 points, 3.3 assists and 4.3 rebounds per game. He's shooting 51.4% from 2-point range and 40% from deep. As such, Herro can't be counted out by the Cavaliers, especially if Miami finds a way to hide him better on the defensive end. Another reason why Garland's comments didn't sit well within the NBA community is that Garland has been the target of multiple position opponents in recent years. In fact, his defensive flaws were a concern for Cleveland coming into this series. Longtime Cavaliers reporter Chris Fedor discussed Garland's defensive weaknesses during a recent episode of the Wine and Gold Talk podcast. "I think there remains to be questions about Darius Garland and his readiness for everything that playoff basketball is," Fedor said. "If we're being honest, Darius has struggled throughout the course of his career. And at times this year, even this year was an all-star caliber season for him, but there were times that he struggled with physicality. The Cavs are ready for it. Kenny Atkinson is ready for it. Darius says he's ready for it. But this is a switch-heavy defense, and teams are going to go pick and roll, and they're going to put Darius in the action over and over and over again." Garland has avoided being a target against Miami. However, as the Cavaliers get deeper into the postseason, he will likely find himself being tested. As such, his comments about Herro could come back to haunt him. In fact, it would appear that they already are. Tyler Herro makes concerning Jimmy Butler admission. As the Miami Heat navigate a challenging playoff series against the Cleveland Cavaliers, trailing 3-0 after a 37-point Game 3 loss, Tyler Herro's candid reflection on Jimmy Butler's departure has raised eyebrows. In an interview with The Athletic before Game 3, Herro admitted, "Obviously, I know I need Jimmy to win. If we had Jimmy right now, I feel like it'd be a completely different situation. We probably wouldn't even be the 8th seed." This stark admission underscores the void left by Butler, who forced his way out of Miami earlier this season, leaving Herro and Bam Adebayo to shoulder the leadership burden. Herro's comments reveal the emotional and strategic toll of Butler's exit. The 6-time All-Star was the heart of the Heat's playoff runs, known for elevating the team in high-stakes moments. Without him, the Heat have struggled, enduring a 10-game losing streak mid-season before scraping into the playoffs via the play-in tournament. Harrow, now the offensive centerpiece, has risen to the occasion with a career-high 23.9 points and 5.5 assists per game, earning his first All-Star selection. Yet, his acknowledgement of needing Butler highlights the challenge of transitioning from a supporting role to the number one option, especially under postseason pressure. The Heat's current predicament facing elimination against a dominant Cavaliers squad amplifies Harrow's concerns. Butler's absence has exposed roster gaps, particularly in clutch scoring and defensive cohesion. As Harrow continues to grow, his admission serves as a reminder of the steep learning curve he faces in leading the Heat back to contention. On Saturday, April 26, Donovan Mitchell helped the Cleveland Cavaliers secure their third straight win over the Miami Heat. Kenny Atkinson's team is now one win away from securing its spot in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Shortly after that victory, Mitchell turned his attention to another big sporting story in the city. With the 144th pick in the NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns selected Shedeur Sanders, ending one of the biggest storylines of this year's draft cycle. Sanders had previously been projected as a potential first-round pick. Mitchell is one of Cleveland's most prominent sports stars. As such, he took it upon himself to send the latest draft pick a forward message via social media. "Welcome to the land," Mitchell posted on X. What's interesting is that both the Cavaliers and Browns are now stocked at the primary ball handler position. Atkinson has Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Ty Jerome at his disposal, while Kevin Stefanski has rookie quarterback Sanders and Dillon Gabriel along with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. The city of Cleveland will now wait to see whether Sanders can make an impact in the coming years. However, for the time being, all eyes will be on the Cavaliers as they continue to charge toward a spot in the Eastern Conference Finals. Charles Barkley rips Heat fans before the team's historic playoff loss to Cavaliers. Miami's beloved NBA franchise became the first 10th seed to advance from the play-in tournament to the NBA playoffs. Being the 8th seed for the postseason meant the Heat would meet the top-seeded Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round. The Heat came up short in the first two games of the first-round Eastern Conference Series. Before Game 3 tipped off in Miami Saturday, Barkley took a moment to take a jab at Heat fans. "That's not a tough environment to play in," Barkley said during the pregame broadcast in reference to Kaseya Center, the Heat's home arena. "That's not a tough environment." The Hall of Famer then mentioned how the Heat overcame the odds in the play-in tournament to make it to the playoffs. "Yeah, but that's still not a hostile environment," he added. This isn't the first time Barkley has shared his distaste for Heat fans. After LeBron James, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade joined forces in Miami for the 2010-11 season, Barkley suggested the Heat's fan base mostly consisted of fair-weather fans. Barkley has also previously claimed Heat fans were among the worst in the NBA. The Heat lost Game 3, 124-87, their worst playoff loss ever, and the Cavs took a 3-0 series lead. The Cavs took control with a 33-5 run early, out-rebounded Miami 46-29 and outscored the Heat 60-30 in the paint. And you fan? What do you think about Charles Barkley's situation? Write to us in the comments.